it's Elizabeth, and today I'm doing a review of Wake by Anna Hope. I received the ebook through NetGalley. It came out on February 11th, and I believe I finished it on February 10th. I gave it 4 to 5 stars on Goodreads. I really liked the writing, and I really liked the story, and I really liked the character Evelyn. But I wasn't so much a big fan of the other two characters, but I'll get into that in a little bit. The plot is a little bit hard to talk about without spoiling anything because it's 5 days in 3 women's lives, and there's like a sprinkling of other people who have like a page or just like a few paragraphs from their perspective, but the majority of it is from these 3 main female characters. It takes place over 5 days leading up to Armistice Day in 1920 in England, and the 3 stories of the stories of the 3 women are kind of intertwined in a way, and you find out, like, the more you read, the more you find out how connected these women are. The 3 main characters are Evelyn, Hedy, and Ada. Evelyn is about 30 years old. She works for the government dealing with men who are disabled in the army and now can't work. She comes from a very rich family, and her story kind of shows that even the rich are not unaffected by war. Her brother fought in the war, and she lost her fiance in the war. And people aren't really sympathetic towards her regarding that loss because they feel like because they weren't married, they kind of treat her like she doesn't get to grieve. The army had no obligation to tell her that he died, and now that she's 30, she kind of has to accept that she probably won't get married. She's fiercely independent, and she's definitely my favorite of the 3 women. And I also think that she grows the most throughout the story. She kind of lets go of her anger and her resentment. She kind of learns to be human again. Hedy is probably my least favorite character in the novel. She's 19 years old. She lives with her mother and brother, who is kind of disturbed after fighting in the war. He doesn't really talk or anything. And she's a dance instructor. Her best friend is kind of like one of the first flappers. She's kind of struggling between wanting to be that way and not being able, and like her mother preventing her from exploring herself and exploring the flapper lifestyle and stuff like that. But the reason that I don't like her is because she didn't change or learn anything. Like, even in situations that should have changed her, she didn't change. Through the novel, like, I know it's only 5 days and that's not very much time to change, but like, even as she's trying to explore the freedom of adulthood, she doesn't let herself. Like, she goes and does some things that are kind of, you know, like exploratory adult experiences, but they don't seem to affect her the way that they should. Ada is like maybe 50 years old. She lost her son in the war. She's okay. I didn't dislike her, but I didn't love her as much as I loved Evelyn. If it's possible, she seems like a genuine person, but like a stereotype at the same time. You know, like, she's a mother who lost her son in the war, and now she's a little bit cuckoo. I mean, like, losing your son would probably make anyone go a little cuckoo, but at the same time, I feel like this character has been done many times. Like, maybe just like the way that Hope went about it just seemed very kind of standard procedure for grieving mother, you know, like, she thinks she sees him in public. She's kind of desperate to know more information about how he died. So I just feel like there were other things that she could have done to show her grief and show her kind of breaking down without the kind of stereotypical or standard behavior for something like that, you know? I don't want to spoil anything, but the other people find out the truth about her son's death, but she doesn't. And I think if she would have known the truth about how her son really died, I think that that could have been a lot more interesting than what really happened. I know that sounds pretty negative so far. You guys are probably wondering, like, why did you give this book 4 stars if you hate all the characters? But the craft in this book is amazing. It's so beautifully written. The description of clothes and smells and the way that people's, like, their posture and their behavior, everyone was characterized really, really well. And I have some quotes that I want to read for you guys. Okay, so the first one is just one sentence, but I thought it was really poignant and really striking. Ada and her husband don't really talk about her son at all. The sentence is in reference to that. Their marriage is tripwired, and I just felt like that was really poignant. It also kind of paralleled their marriage to war, which I thought was really interesting. And then this paragraph, a bit later in the novel, Evelyn, one of the soldiers that she deals with in her office, she kind of gets to know him and talks with him a little bit, and this is kind of her reflection on meeting and talking with him. Evelyn realizes something, that this meeting was what she has been waiting for someone to share their truth with her. After 4 years of war and 2 more years of ex-soldiers, day in, day out, this is what she has wanted. This is what she has sought. Someone's truth. Not their cheer, not their bravery, not their anger, not their lies. And in 4 years of war and 2 years of its aftermath, no one, not Fraser, not her brother, no one has shared their truth with her. I just thought that that paragraph was just so powerful, and it really encapsulates everything that Evelyn has been going throughout this novel. And then this last quote, this is also just one sentence, and again it's about Evelyn, but yeah, like I've said, she lost her fiance, who Fraser is her fiance. She's very bitter about it, and she's kind of angry at the world, angry at the military, just kind of angry in general. Her brother says to her, but you've used that one death as fuel ever since to hate the world. I think this quote really summarizes not only how Evelyn feels, but how Ada also feels. It also summarizes how I feel, but I also feel like her brother actually saying this to her and making her realize that this is what she's doing, I feel like that really brings about the change. I think one of the reasons that I like Evelyn so much is because change doesn't just happen to her, she seeks it out. And so I think for her brother to say this to her, and for her to really realize that this is what her life has become, I think that it really makes a difference for her, and it really kind of makes her see that she has other possibilities, that she can let go of this anger now. So I really enjoyed this book, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I definitely recommend that you guys read this book. Let me know if any of you have read this. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to comment and subscribe, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye!